Hello, everyone, and a happy new year. Welcome to 2023. And oh my gosh, this is going to be a very, very eventful summer, and you guys will see about that. And, well, very soon, I'll just say that. But this is my list of my top 25 favorite roller coasters of all time. I have ridden over 118 roller coasters in the country, and this is the top 21% of all the coasters that I've been on. So these coasters are actually pretty good. You can definitely take that from my word because they're in my top 25. So yeah, there we go. So a couple of things before I get into it. Actually, there's not really much to say. Let's just get on with it. Actually, Titan is going to start us off of the top 25 list of 2022. So Titan is a Giovanola hypercoaster located at Six Flags over Texas. And this one definitely flies under the radar for a lot of people. I really, really like this ride. Positive G-forces, has a really good airtime hill, and the drop lasts forever. So I really do like this ride, and I think it deserves more attention from the public. The first B&M on this list, Banshee at Kings Island. This is actually my favorite B&M invert roller coaster, and it's so good. I really, really love this thing. A lot of positive G-forces, cool elements. The inline twist is very weird, and I love it a lot. The setting's also pretty cool, too. You kind of, go down in terrain, which is really nice. Adds a lot of speed. That pretzel knot is really intense, too. So, yeah, this ride's a really cool ride overall, and it is not rough. It is not shaky. It is a wonderful experience. Please go ride this and like it. Or else. Nothing really happened. But yeah, or else. Canamonium, located at my home park, Hershey Park. This was actually the first ever hypercoaster I've ridden, and it still definitely holds up. This drop is really good air time. This is a fun ride. Hershey Park with the theming, it's pretty average theming, but for Hershey Park, it's really, really good. So yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say about this ride. It has really good air time, and that's really it. Yeah. Thunderhead at Dollywood will be the first wooden roller coaster on this list. Thunderhead is an amazing wooden roller coaster, and yeah, it is kind of rough in some spots, but that's something you can easily look over because it has a lot of airtime, a lot of lateral G-force moments. You do a station flyby. That's really cool when you're in the station. Not so much when you're on the ride because it's just straight track in a building. But yeah, other than that's a really good ride. The drop is really fun too. I like how you're just set in the middle of Dollywood. You're just there. Everything's surrounding you, like Wildwood Grove and all that kind of cool, fun stuff. So yeah, this is a really, really good wooden roller coaster. And yeah, really good airtime. The first Cedar Point roller coaster on this list is Magnum XL 200 at Cedar Point. This is a really fun hypercoaster. People say it's really rough, and, well, I mean, yeah, it actually is really, really rough. But that's something I can easily look over because I have found my magic seat. Not the magic seat, but my own magic seat. And for me, that is the back row and not the third row. Let me tell you why. The third row is definitely the magic seat. The most intense airtime, but it's also the most rough there. Really, the only benefit you get from the magic seat is all the airtime at the end. When you're in the back row, however, it's less rough and the airtime is less intense, but it's still pretty sharp, if that makes sense. So you still get a really fun kick out of Magnum XL 200, even, 33 years later? Yeah. The first Giga Coaster on this list, Orion, located at Kings Island. This opened in 2020, and this is a really, really fun ride. 287 feet tall, 300-foot drop, wave turn, really cool helix elements. It's called Orion's Belt, so it's it's a helix that takes you up and takes you right back down. The ending airtime hill looking thing is a really, really good element. Plenty of ejector airtime there. The speed hill is great, and theming is really, really good. Even when you get into like when you walk under Racer, there's a car next to you with a speculator, conspiracist guy talking to you and everything. And this is all before you even get in the queue. The queue is amazing and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, this is a really fun ride overall, and I would definitely recommend it. And yes, it is a Giga Coaster. Don't fight me, because I'm right. Staying at Kings Island, we have Diamondback. This is the B&M Hypercoaster, which is somehow better than the Giga Coaster in the same park. It's kind of crazy, isn't it? Yeah, I know. They let those even face in the same direction, which is kind of weird. But enough about that. Diamondback has amazing airtime. I love the staggered seating. The train's longer. You get more whip up with that first drop. It is amazing. I do like the ending bunny hills, and the splashdown's really nice. If you ever sit in the back row, like the back row, make sure you get the edge seats so that you can just stick your hand out behind you and you get soaked. So on those summer days, it's really nice and refreshing. Staying at Kings Island again, yet for the third time in a row, is the best roller coaster at Kings Island, which is Mystic Timbers. This is my favorite wooden roller coaster of all time. The pacing is immaculate, the airtime is amazing, the theming is also really good. I mean, even in the queue, there's wood everywhere. You kind of go into the woods, like the railroad tracks and everything. And the shed, well, it is kind of a letdown for Cedar Fair. It is actually really, really good theming, and I'm really glad that they put some sort of effort into it, because I'd rather be a shed rather than no shed. Also, don't go in the shed. Alright, our first roller coaster at Carowinds, I think, we have Intimidator. Intimidator is a really fun B&M Hyper roller coaster, and yes, I do think it's better than Diamondback. This is actually my second favorite B&M Hyper coaster, well, because the other one in a second. But Intimidator is a really fun ride. It has better airtime in my opinion. The trims do not hit at all. There were like 2 trims on like the 2 airtime hills or whatever. I did not hear them hit at all. Like, there were no trims at all. The mid-course brake run, yeah, you know, it kind of slows you down, but it's the end of the ride. What does it matter? You know, there's just one more helix and that's it. So yeah, I really do like this ride better. I don't know, I just like the color scheme more and all that kind of fun stuff. And the airtime's way better than Diamondback. My favorite B&M Hyper roller coaster, Nitro, located at Six Flags Great Adventure. This has a lot of airtime, has floater, has ejector. The night rides on this thing are amazing because you get taken out into the lake, into the woods. It's just plain fun. While the drop isn't the best, the rest of the layout is fun, and those ending layout bunny hills are amazing. And I have heard that they are redoing the color scheme, or repainting it. I really do hope they change up the color scheme because it's not the best. I'll put it that way. But yeah. Yes, Storm Runner, a fantastic intimate accelerator launch coaster. It uses a hydraulic launch, so it's very punchy, 0 to 72 miles an hour in 2 seconds. 150 foot tall, top hat, cover loop, flying snake dive, weird twisty bed at the end. It's a plain fun roller coaster. One of my favorites at Hershey Park. I think it's my second favorite. We'll see about that when Wildcats Revenge opens next year, but this is a really fun coaster overall. It has hang time, linear, lateral, positive and negative G-forces, everything you can have all in one roller coaster, so very well-rounded. Yes, the first ever RMC, which was also the first RMC I've ever been on, New Texas Giant at Six Flags over Texas. While there aren't any inversions or really cool elements, this is a really fun roller coaster, chock full of airtime, and a lot of overbanks, which I really, really love, especially that ending lap. We go back around the coaster again to loop around to the station. It is a really cool experience, and I really think you guys should go out and ride this, and it's actually a pretty underrated roller coaster. While yes, it is like one of the worst out of the what is it called, RMCs that I've been on, it's not a bad one at all, which really speaks for how good RMC is, especially since this was their first roller coaster back in 2011. Storm Chaser. It is a fun RMC, but it is severely overrated. I did not find this as a really powerful RMC that everyone makes it out to be. It's still a great ride for Kentucky Kingdom, but it's just kind of a dull experience in my opinion. Now, I did ride this in the morning, but I did ride it again back in the afternoon when it should have been warmed up, and it still was the same experience. So yeah, Storm Runner is overrated. Not Storm Runner. Storm Chaser is still overrated, but it's still a very fun ride for Kentucky Kingdom and, you know, for what it is. So yeah. Copperhead Strike. Oh my gosh, this ride took me by surprise. And I did not think it was going to be this powerful. A lot of airtime. The hang time is really good. I love the JoJo roll at the beginning of the ride. I put my hands up and everything. I'm not scared at all. It's a really fun element. I really do like the one element where you like go up through this loop and you just all of a sudden twist 90 degrees. That's my favorite element on the ride because it's so wacky and I love it. That's the thing about this ride. It's a very wacky ride. And even though the launches are not intense, it is a very fun, airtime, and hang time filled roller coaster. Alright, Jersey Devil Coaster. This is a fun single row roller coaster. Has a lot of airtime. I think it's underrated. I think it lives up to the hype that it was built up as. I love the dive loop, or I guess it's more of a dive drop. The 0G stall is actually amazing because you actually feel weightless, which is what a 0G stall is supposed to feel like. I love the ending bunny hills. Those give a lot of airtime. And yeah, this is just a really fun ride overall. A lot of people hate on this, and I'm not sure why. Probably because I haven't ridden Railblazer or any of those coasters like that, so I don't know. Maybe I'm just not experienced enough to give my full thoughts on this, but yeah, those are my full thoughts. Alright, getting into the top 10 now. Starting it off is Lightning Run at Kentucky Kingdom. This is the best ride at Kentucky Kingdom, and yes, it is better than Storm Chaser. The pacing is amazing, the airtime is awesome, there are outer banks, you got wave turns, I think, and of course, you know, it's... the color scheme's amazing, guys. I love that blue, and that's amazing. But yeah, other than that, it's situated at Kentucky Kingdom, so, you know, it's probably like the best ride there, which is kind of sad, but hey, it's okay. Millennium Force, oh my gosh, I love this ride. This ride is amazing, the drop is awesome, the setting is fantastic, the overbanks are amazing, they're full of positive G-forces, the airtime is great. Don't let anyone fool you saying that it's so full of overbanks and it's overrated. No, the overbanks are amazing, it's plain fun. Getting a night ride on this, though, is what pushed this up for me. The night rides on this are amazing, especially when you do it, during Halloween weekends. It is amazing with the fog and the lights everywhere. Oh, it's just a wonderful experience. And there's no bugs, so you should definitely do it during Halloween weekends because there's no bugs. But when it's, you know, the summer season at night rides, yeah, there's a lot of bugs. So, yeah, just keep your mouth closed. Also, my record for getting hit in the face with bugs is 7, so see if you can beat that. So, yeah. The original #1 roller coaster from last year's list is... at this spot, Sky Rush. This has a wonderful first drop with an awesome kink in the middle of it, so you get, it's basically like 2 drops in one. Amazing ejector airtime. I think it's the most G-forces, negative G-forces in the world on one roller coaster. A lot of laterals, and you know, the restraints kind of ruin the ride, but I don't even feel them anymore. This is my home park, so I ride this like all the time when I go there when it's open. So wonderful experience. So yeah, please get multiple rides on this, even though it hurts you, because the more you ride it, the more you'll get used to it, and that's, I guess, always a good thing. Kingda Ka, the tallest roller coaster in the world, takes up the #7 spot, and oh my gosh, this thing is powerful. Yes, this is better than Sky Rush. The G-forces on that first launch, the acceleration is insane. I got a front row rain ride. Yes, right, a rain ride on Kingda Ka. Unheard of. It is simply amazing. All of the needles you feel in your face, you just don't care because you're in the moment. You're on Kingda Ka, the second fastest roller coaster in the world and the tallest roller coaster in the world. It is simply amazing. The view from the top is... well, you don't really get a good view because you're only up there for like half a second, then you plunge a 456-foot drop. So yeah, it's a really, really fun roller coaster, and I like it a lot better than Sky Rush. Twisted Timbers at King's Dominion. It is only 100 feet tall, but it beats the tallest roller coaster in the world with its airtime, its layout, its inversions, and the first drop. It is literally an inversion of barrel roll. It's actually a really fun drop. Good 0G kind of moment right there. The airtime is simply amazing. It's almost borderline Sky Rush with those 3 ejector hills after the first overbank. It's simply amazing. The cutback, the 0G roll, the outer bank. It's a very snappy ride, and it actually gave me one of the biggest bruises I've ever had. I'm not going to show on the video because it's actually pretty disgusting, but yeah, it's a really, really intense roller coaster. Don't let its size fool you. Whoa! Who knew I would make it this far? They hated, they never believed me. Intimidator 305. This is probably one of the most intense roller coasters in the world, and it shows. The first turn, I've grayed out almost every single time. There's only been like 2 or 3 rides I haven't grayed out on. And this is actually the roller coaster that I have marathoned the most. I think the most I've done is like 7-10 times in a row, which is really surprising because a lot of people say they need a breather after doing this ride, but I just want to keep going on and on and on. Like, this is the ride I probably marathoned the most out of all of them. So really fun, snappy transitions. Of course, the positive G-forces are just there. There's really good airtime too, and good laterals with the switchbacks. It's a really fun ride overall. So please don't let all the horror stories scare you away from this ride, because this is super duper. Maverick at Cedar Point definitely lives up to its name, because the name is a kick-butt name and I love it. The snappy transitions, the first drop, the launches. This has one of the best pacing records, or just the best pacing on any coaster I've ever seen. It is non-stop. The stangle dives, the switchbacks, the airtime hill at the beginning is even really powerful. This is a very, very, very fun ride. I love it. The presentation even looks really nice. Gorgeous, you know, when you're even off the peninsula, just looking at the peninsula off the lake, it looks really good. It even sits on a little pond over a bridge and everything. It looks fantastic. This is a very, let me get this straight, a very fun ride. I, for like probably a little bit, thought this was better than Steel Vengeance. This was my #1 roller coaster for I think like 15 minutes since I got back on Steel Vengeance. This is a very, very kick butt ride. Please go on it.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll.
Lightning Rod puts us at the #3 spot, taking the bronze for 2022. This is an overrated ride. I'm just gonna start that off right now. This is very overrated. However, the launch is punchy. It's very powerful. You get pinned back to your seat. The first drop is, it's fine. The wave turn, it's fine. The twist and shouts, it's fine. The outer bank, oh my gosh, amazing. Probably the best moment of airtime on the ride. And then you have the quad down. Now there is like a little airtime hill in between the quad down and the outer bank, so it's more like a quintuple down. It's simply amazing. It's definitely overrated. So see, it's like a lot of people say this is the best coaster in the world. It's definitely not that good, but it's a really good ride still. And yeah, this definitely has the potential to be probably top 10 in the world. I could definitely see that. So yeah, that's kind of how it's going. Taking silver is Steel Vengeance at Cedar Point. Airtime, 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 airtime. That's all this roller coaster really is. It's just airtime. Outer banks, airtime, top hat, good first drop. The finale is amazing. Good inversions. I really like the first inversion where you just keep going. Second inversion is very snappy. The second half, those were just, everything just breaks loose. It's just, I love it. I love this ride so much. But nothing compares to the #1 spot. My favorite roller coaster of all time.
Yeah, look, tell me what's the vibes, what's the mood? Yeah, I just hit a Mikey for the juice. Yeah, ain't no capping, I'ma tell the truth. I've been winning for so long, it's hard to lose.
Fury 325 is the best roller coaster in the world. 325 feet tall. Oh my gosh, the length is amazing. It goes in between 2 states. The drop is simply just so good. And all of the airtime, you think since it's a B&M roller coaster, it's all floater. No, all the airtime on Fury 325 is straight up ejector. There's a lot of lateral G-forces, almost like Skyrish or like I-305. It's that intense. Laterals, the treble clef is amazing. So you got sideways airtime, you got an underground tunnel moment. The night rides, the nightlife on this thing is just amazing. I can never ever get enough of this ride. The ride ops just know they're the best in the world, and they really are the best in the world. Shout out to them. And yeah, that's really all I gotta say about that. So, I mean, yeah.
Deal, be my source, Christian like Dior, yeah. I can't start when I'm far, just get back up, yeah. I've been quiet all along on my TP toes, yeah. I can't keep it to myself, I just give and go, yeah. I just turn my L's into W's, yeah. I just told my sins, yeah, I'm done with you, yeah. Stay in your lane, don't you pick and choose. I can't waste my time, I got a lot to lose. To the game that we all on, that was doubting us all along. Now we charting in Hong Kong, what competition, they all gone. Bless, stress, play the game like it's chess. We next, that's a check, over stripes, yeah, yeah.